Tom Clark's Main Event is a Boink Studios production. Follow us on Twitter and Facebook at Boink Studios, and check us out on boinkstudios.com, where you can see all of our projects, past, present, and future. And now, on with the show.
This is Daddy's show. Step off.
Hey, what is up? Welcome back to the program, folks. Thank you for tuning in. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Tom Clark, and this is Tom Clark's Main Event. We're back once again here on Facebook Live. Glad you are with us. We're also recording today. The show will post on YouTube, and is always available on boinkstudios.com. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes, Google Play, and iHeartRadio. This is episode number 149, and yes, we're moving right along here on Facebook Live. I want to thank everyone for joining us here, of course, and for coming back each and every week. Much thanks to Heidi Ryan and the whole crew at Wrestling Rumors for giving us this platform. We do greatly appreciate it. So episode number 148 was the SummerSlam and TakeOver preview and latest pro wrestling news. We covered the entire cards for both events and gave our predictions on all the matches. Now it's time to see how we did. That's right, it's time to check those scorecards, kids. This time the main event is the SummerSlam and TakeOver review. That was a mouthful. Welcome back to the show. Hope everyone out there in podcast land and Facebookville, makes no sense, is doing great. Hope you guys are having a great Friday. Good Friday to you. Good day to you wherever you are in the world watching/listening today. We've got a good audience across the pond, ever growing day by day. So that's very cool. We do appreciate that. Hope everyone is having the best day. Hope everyone's having a good week. We've got a big show here today. A lot of stuff to cover, a lot of ground to cover, a lot of things to talk about that happened this past week in the world of professional wrestling. We will say a few good mornings that we haven't already. Hello, Andrew. How are you? Real versus Goldberg. Blah. Mark, we could talk about that a little bit more as the show goes on. Miss Lopez, welcome back to the show. So as everyone continues to file in to watch the show live on the Facebook, we will remind everyone listening today, if you only subscribe on iTunes/Google Play or you listen to the show on YouTube, please, we implore you to watch the show live every Friday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, live on Wrestling Rumors Facebook page. Go like the page so you can stay updated. You will see my ugly mug sprawled across your screen, as it were. Every Friday, most every Friday. Sometimes we take breaks, so life beckons, right? But yeah, please watch the show live. It means loads to us. And of course, if you subscribe, if you're watching today and you've not subscribed on iTunes, please feel free to do so. And please leave us a comment and rate the show as well. There's no charge for anything that I put out there. All you need is an internet connection. There's no fee included or attached to this. I just don't believe in doing that. So anyway. Everything's free, and all we ask is for your feedback and for you to follow along and please be part of the show. That's up. That's what's going on. Danny, welcome back to the show. Hello, Andrew. Andrew, what a great thing to say. Thanks, bro. Hello, Wilton Finch Haas. Man, that's a great name, too. Sounds like an evil millionaire, like an evil power-hungry millionaire. I'm a comic book guy. Bear with me. So, hello, Danny. David, what's going on? Do I know anything about Savio Vega's injury? Miss Lopez, I saw Savio in the match in MLW. I couldn't tell, honestly, if he was legit hurt or not. I don't have any info for you on that. So, David, recovering from knee replacement. Man, that's a big haul, I'm sure. Get well soon there, Dave. Thanks for watching, man. Richard, first time watching. Everyone say hello to Richard and welcome to the show. Appreciate that. Thanks for watching, man. Hope you come back. Nelson, good afternoon in Connecticut, home of Vincent Kennedy McMahon. There you go. It's my lousy Vince impression for the day. Maybe there will be much more. Who knows? Darwin, it's real easy. Tom Clark's Main Event, bro. It's what we are, man. Tom Clark's Main Event. Can't miss us. So anyone subscribing to us on iTunes or Google Play, please rate the show and leave a review if you will. It'd be greatly appreciated, man. It means loads to me. Okay, so we got a lot to get into here. Mark's already talking about the dream. We got a lot of stuff to talk about. We're going to go ahead and kick this show off if that sounds good to you folks. Let's go ahead and get to the NXT card first, then we'll hit SummerSlam, then we'll cover any news and rumors and events of the week that you guys want to talk about. Sound good? Sounds great. So let's go ahead and do this. NXT TakeOver Toronto happened Saturday, August 10th. It was a very good show. NXT delivers basically every time the curtain opens and the lights go on and the guys hit the stage, they deliver. And this event was no exception. We kicked off the show with the grudge match. Candice LeRae defeated by Io Shirai. You guys know how I feel about Io. One of the best performers in the business, bar none, male or female. Fantastic in the ring. Candice really stepped her game up. Candice is capable of a lot more than she's done. I was going to say that she's been allowed to do, but no one's holding her back. There's not a governor on her in NXT. It's just that she hasn't had the opportunity to sort of sink her teeth into a great storyline as she has now with Io. So I thought she really rose to the occasion. What were your guys' thoughts on the NXT match between Candice LeRae and Io Shirai? Montrese, I agree. Very good match. Great show, NXT, 8 out of 10. Rebecca says, I absolutely agree with that. It was a really good show. I enjoyed every second of it. But again, the Candice LeRae and we have a guest here on the show again. Let's see if he decides to make a vocal appearance, and he's already talking. Say hello to the boy. That's all you got? That was very anticlimactic.
Stupid stairs.
Where's the cat? Why do I hear him?
That's my TV.
Go find the cat. What'd you do with him?
He's under the bed.
He's under whose bed?
Yours.
Is the door open or shut?
Yes.
Yes, what?
It's open.
I hear the cat. My God. Shane is attacking Roman Reigns, Salvador says. At this point, I don't know how I feel about who's attacking Roman Reigns. I'm pretty sure he's attacking Roman Reigns. Are you the culprit behind the attacks on Roman Reigns? On the big dog, as Michael Cole would say. What else does Michael Cole say? Huh?
I don't know.
You don't remember?
People, be careful at work. Look what he did.
Yeah, it's a little injury. It's fine. All right, so we're back.
I had a bigger injury than that. I had to get stitches.
Yeah, well, that was a long time ago. People are going to be moody,
long.
but I did not watch NXT. Misses and said, not 4 days of wrestling in a row. Wow, Jeff, you got some catching up to do, my friend. What's up, Jenna? Welcome back to the show. So, yeah, it was a bit long, but but it was still a good match. I was thoroughly happy with it. Let's move on, folks. NXT Championship match. The Street Profits defended the championships against Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly in the Undisputed Era. Street Profits retained the titles. There again, another top match from the Street Profits. Street Profits been a presence on the main roster, namely Monday Night Raw and SmackDown Live as well, I believe. And they have been two of the most entertaining cats you'll ever see. We've seen them live twice, and they're fantastic. They're so good in the ring, but they're so entertaining as well, and genuinely nice guys from everything that we've seen. We've met them and everything. That's a couple cool guys, you know what I mean? So, and I got to tell you something about Montez Ford. Montez Ford is a star, and I like Dawkins a lot. Don't misunderstand me. Them as a team are very good, but Montez is the straw that stirs the drink in that one, in my opinion. He's the one. And keep your eyes on Montez Ford the next coming years. I think you're going to see a world champion developing before your very eyes, and I don't say that lightly. I think he's got the goods. So yeah, you're right, Mark. His athleticism is next level. They both are. Dawkins is very good. Don't misunderstand me here. But if this were Edge and Christian, I would say Montez is Edge, in my opinion. And I love Christian. Christian's Hall of Famer, all right? I'm just talking about in terms of what do you see when you see a dynamic, charismatic world champion. I see Montez Ford. So there you go. Hello, Dwayne. Welcome back to the show. Michael, what's going on? So, yes, very entertaining. Jim says, kind of surprised they retained. Montez is going to be the next Booker T with more athleticism. Jim, I see your point, and I respect that, but I wouldn't saddle him with the Booker T thing. I would just say let him be his own version of himself. I do see him as not Edge in terms of being like edgy and rated R and stuff, but I think he's just so versatile. I think he can do anything that he puts his mind to. I don't know if I would pigeonhole him as being one thing or the other. I do see your point, though. Street Profits remind me of Percy Watch from NXT Season 4. Andrew, not a bad comparison. I get where that's coming from. So, yeah. John, what's up? Welcome to the show, my friend. Do you see WWE separating them, though? I see Street Profits breaking tag team title records. Mark, here's the thing. They've got the smoke. That's such a thing now, isn't it? So here's the thing. So every time there's a successful tag team, the first thing we all want to talk about is when is the company going to split them up. Now, that's partly our fault for always thinking, I don't want to say negative, but always trying to think ahead. But it's partly WWE's fault for always doing it. You know what I mean? Every time they end up putting together a good team or get a good team and they're killing it and they're successful, the first thing we say is, well, won't be long now. WWE going to screw this one up royally. It's kind of what they do. You know what I mean? So, I would not be surprised if that happens. I don't think it's going to happen for a while. And if it's me, I don't let them start wrestling on the main roster anytime soon. Just let them cut their silly promos backstage and just keep them out of the ring. That's the reason I say this, because once they start performing and once they become part of the main roster, then all bets are off as to what's going to happen to them in the future. I know I'm sure they would both love to do it, but they're both very aware of what's happened in the past. I don't know how you could work on that brand and not be aware of what's happened in the past, in the very recent past, I should say. Victor has a spoiler. Hit us, Victor. Dwayne says, what do you think of Edge spearing alive? Speaking of Edge, I didn't see that coming. I don't think Edge has laid hands on anyone since he retired, so that was kind of a big deal. Edge isn't coming back, so everyone relax. But that was a big deal, man. That was truly shocking. When he lined up across from him in the ring, I was like, oh my God, he's going to spear him, like I just knew. And then bam, he hit it. And then in mid-run, it was still very surreal to me. I just didn't, wow. Like, who would have thought that, you know? I think Street Profits are great on NXT, stupid on the main roster. Well, Larry, some people share your opinion, man. I'm not going to lie. For real. Nah, Marcus, I don't think so, man. I don't think so. I mean, Edge's life hangs in the balance. His physical well-being. He's married with kids. He's a happy guy. Keep him busy. I don't think he needs to. I've not heard anything to the contrary. But yeah, he surprised me as well, for sure. What's up, Justin? Welcome back to the show. So yeah, good match. I enjoyed the match. So we're moving on now. NXT North American Championship title. Triple threat match, Velveteen Dream versus Pete Dunne versus Roderick Strong. Velveteen Dream retains. Someone was asking earlier about Dream going to the main roster. I will tell you the same thing I've told you before multiple times about the top class NXT talents, and there's several of them, okay, who are fantastic on the mic and in the ring and killing it on the black and gold brand. But here's the deal. Once you go to the main roster, all bets are off. You can have a winning hand and then suddenly you hit a cold table. Do you know what I'm saying? That's kind of how I feel about it. And it's, I love Dream. Dream's so good in person. Saw him live at the NXT house show in Concord. And it was, he's fantastic. You know what I mean? He worked strong that night. It was fantastic. Dream is an entertainer at his core. He's truly come into his own. Mark says, I'm just scared if he does this book, the booking will kill him. I absolutely agree with you. Yeah. In as much as character babyface Bray Wyatt should have never had a problem on the main roster, the same is true for character babyface Velveteen Dream, which is what he is. He's a character babyface. And, but having said that, this is WWE, who could take the best situation and turn it on its ear and make all of us sit at home and go, what have they done now? Do you know what I mean? Not to be that guy that complains, but I try to be a realist, and the realist part of me, which is the biggest part, says there's reason to be cautiously optimistic about Dream especially. Hello, Darren. What's up? Shayna Baszler come to the main roster. Shayna, I think, would work on the main roster because she's, not that Dream's not different, but hear me out. Shayna is different in her division especially because no one in her division operates like she does. Rousey, I guess you could say, but Rousey still had that friggin' smile on her face every time she came down the ramp. Has Shayna ever smiled in her life except for when she's like breaking some girl's arm? You know what I mean? So I think that Shayna would be highly successful on the main roster, but there again, what do I know? This could be a train wreck of massive proportions. I do see him coming in, though. Jeff says he was disappointed with the Yin Baszler match. I can't say that I disagree. There was a few rough spots in that match. Can I be honest with you? And we can shoot to that one if you guys want to. But honestly, in my opinion, I think Yim had butterflies. Yim looked nervous. And we talked about Yim last week on the program when I made the comment that it feels like that Yim's ego and her self-confidence is not just a character, that it's actually her. And I don't fault any talent for having ego and self-confidence. You need to have both those things. If you don't believe that you can step into the ring, have the match of the night, then why are you doing it? Aren't you wasting your time and the fans and everyone else's and the promoter? You need to believe that you can deliver the best match of the night on any given night, anytime your number is called. I don't fault her for that. What I say to this is, if I can see it, I'm pretty sure fans can see it. Every fan can see it. I don't know if it will serve her well in the long run, because here's the key. The first time you screw up, the first time you have a less than stellar match, people are going to remember that attitude. They're going to remember that ego and that self-confidence. They're going to say, "Not so hot now, are you?" Because people are waiting for you to fall. They're waiting for you to make a mistake. That's kind of what it is. So I don't know if it serves her in the long run, but that's just me talking. Jim said it was not a good match. I get what they were going for. It was kind of slow and sloppy. I totally agree with that. Rebecca, yeah, absolutely. I don't know if she can't wrestle. I'm not going to say that. I like Mia Yim. Mia Yim, God, it sounds like I'm bagging on her. I don't mean to. Mia Yim, to me, it's almost like the person behind the gimmick believes her own hype. It's almost like she absolutely, I'm Mia Yim, by God. You know what I mean? Again, no disrespect. And if that's not the case, I don't mean anything negative. And again, I don't think it's a negative thing to have. It's perfectly fine. What I'm saying is, when you have an off night, when you don't step up, the part of the price you pay for having that attitude or that outlook, maybe attitude's a bad word, part of the price you pay for having that outlook is that when you have an off night and you're going to have one, you're going to get called out and fans are going to recognize it. So maybe that's what happened. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. When they take Shane off TV, tired of his heel. Anthony, from your lips to the ears of God, my friend. They've rushed Jim. She's not ready, and Saturday showed it. Jenna, I don't even know if I can agree with you, Jenna. I don't know that she's not ready. I don't think she was ready for Saturday night. I don't know that she's not ready. I just don't know that she's ready for Saturday night. I wonder if the conversation's been had with her behind the scenes where she's been told, "Now's your shot. You gotta step it up." You know what I mean? Or if that conversation even happens with her at this point. Or if it's just a matter of she knows she has to step it up and she tries, but she kind of falls short. I don't know. That's a good question. I'd like to be what do they say, a fly on the wall, right? It'd be interesting to see. So, there you go. What did someone just say about, see, Aaron, what's up? Welcome back. Yim brought a fight she couldn't train for. That's interesting, Kobe. Yeah, that's interesting. I like that opinion. See, Doug says, I believe Ron will be back in some kind of role on SmackDown Live. Oh, absolutely. She'll be back. I don't know if she'll be full-time, but she'll be back at least for that event, I would say. So we kind of glazed over the Dream versus Dunn versus Strong match. You guys like that? Because I was entertained by it. I thought it was good. I enjoyed it. Good, strong, solid match all the way through. Some people said it stole the show. It was really good, really solid. Baszler and Yim was good. Not great, in my opinion. But I think it got the job done. It was a bit sloppy in spots. It was a bit weak. But, Baszler retained. I found Yim's, not to keep going on about Mia Yim, we're going to leave her alone here in a second. But, it kind of felt like they did the right thing by giving her a different avenue with which to try to beat Baszler, because people have tried to meet her on her own terms and it doesn't work. They've tried athleticism and high flying, it doesn't work. They've tried doing something different, it doesn't work. So instead, Mia Yim cheated and took every underhand tactic available to her. And it didn't come off making her look like a heel either. So I applaud that. I thought that was a genius bit of booking on their part. I just don't know if at the end of the day, if it had the same kind of impact they were hoping it was going to have. Okay, what about the main event? Adam Cole versus Johnny Gargano, 2 out of 3 falls with special stipulations. Adam Cole, baby, retains the NXT Championship. What did we think about this match? What did we think about it? I have read reviews of this match that said it was too long, and that it went on too long, and that they tried too hard, they did too much. I'm a firm believer in you can do not enough, but that you can also do too much. This is one of those instances where I thought the match was really good, but I kind of had a feeling halfway through it, and I couldn't put into words what it was. But then I heard a review afterward or read something where someone said it was too much. And suddenly it hit me. I was like, that's what it is. They did too much. And I try not to let anything sway my opinion. And I can't say that it did, but I think more or less it just sort of put a word on it. It put a term on it, which maybe I wasn't thinking of before when I watched it. But yeah, it felt like they did a little too much. I think that is a pitfall of being in NXT, if there is any, is that you feel like, well, last match was 5-star. It's got to be 6-star. And you have to constantly one up yourself. Nothing wrong with that. Don't misunderstand me. But I think that therein lies the danger, is that if you but if you don't get it to that point, did you disappoint yourself? Did you, when you could have done half of that and still been just as much impact and still just as important on the card and still just as monumental as you were hoping to be? That's a good question. I don't know. Nia Jax, I don't know where she's at, man. I have no idea. Rick says the best match, but did go on too long and dragged to the end. Absolutely. Banks versus Bayley, a decent match. The SmackDown Women's title. I don't doubt that at all. So, James, I'm glad you asked about SummerSlam, because guess what? James has queued it up for us, and he has provided us a great segue. We are moving on to the SummerSlam card. You guys ready? Let's go ahead and review SummerSlam. This one's a great big old card. And let's start from the top. WWE Cruiserweight Champion Drew Gulak defeated Oney Lorcan. A good, solid match, as we all knew it would. Gulak retains the championship. Lorcan is a blue-collar, hard-working, dirty hands, dirt under your fingernails kind of pro wrestler. You know what I mean? Black trunks, black boots. Of course, that's the norm most of the time in 2019, isn't it? But he is... no nonsense, no frills, nothing flashy, doesn't need to. That's just who Oney Lorcan is. But good, solid match. I think we all knew what it was going to be. And I think they delivered on every level. So, yeah. Any thoughts on the Lorcan Gulag match? Did everyone enjoy it? Yes, because I did. Thought it was a good match. Still your Cruiserweight Champion, Drew Gulak. We can move right along here. Buddy Murphy, who's been turning heads most recently on SmackDown Live against Roman Reigns, which, by the way, we all know Buddy's capable of doing that. We've seen it before. We just haven't seen it against like the top stars of the company. But I think it just goes to show how truly talented a lot of the guys that, underneath guys, I guess you could say, that have been moved from 205 Live and not done anything since they got to the main roster, how truly talented they can be if when given an opportunity they can shine and stand out. And I think Murphy's one of those guys for sure. Defeated Apollo Crews by DQ after Rowan interrupted. Rowan wanted to destroy Murphy for running his mouth to Roman about what he saw. So there you go. Edge returns to SummerSlam to spear Elias. We talked about that earlier. That was sort of, again, that was out of the blue. Shocking. Douglas says best SummerSlam match was Raw Women's Championship match. Interesting take. It was a good match. Shane says Buddy Murphy was impressive. Absolutely. Absolutely. You're right, Rebecca. The key is what you said is if they do it right. If they get enough people, if the booking is right and they make enough people care. People will care if you do the story right. If you portray the character in the positive light, if you give him enough ground with which to work, and you facilitate the opportunities he has to look like a star. The first time you make him look weak and you start, bashing him over the head and all he does is lose, lose, lose. Winning and losing isn't everything in pro wrestling. I think we're all adult enough to admit that. I don't think we've got any 10-year-olds watching today. No disrespect to 10-year-olds. My kid's 10-year-old. I'm just saying. At the same time, we all know, we're all mature enough to say that it's not all about winning and losing. Most of the stories in the journey, not the destination always. Okay. So, having said that, if he loses all the time, then it's going to have an impact on him in terms of how the fans view him. They're no longer going to take him seriously if they ever did. That'll be over, and they won't believe in him for anything at all. And if they don't want that to happen, then he can no longer lose all the time. So, Brad's jumping right through the card, folks. Finn Balor match and result was expected. Pretty boring match. That'll be his over pushing. Interesting take from Brad. Maybe a hot take there. Hello, Phil. Welcome back to the show. Buddy's match SmackDown elevated him. Roman did a great job of making him. Yeah, Jim, but Buddy did his part, man. I mean, you can say that Roman gave him the canvas on which to do it and gave him the opportunity, but Buddy had to rise to the occasion. Roman didn't carry him at all. I know you're not saying he did, but Buddy's more than capable of doing his own and holding his own in the match for sure, 100%. So, anyway, good match. We're going to move on here, folks. The WWE Women's Tag Team Championships have changed hands as Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross defeated the Iconics. So, for a change, the Iconics, who had the championship since WrestleMania 35, much to the dismay of many fans all around the world, those days are over, folks. Cross and Bliss have the belts. My only complaint with the Cross and Bliss union, partnership, team, whatever, is that eventually Nikki's going to, or Alexa's going to betray her, and Nikki's going to be like, I didn't think this was going to happen. Really? Come on. In that regard, it's silly and it's hokey, but it's WWE. It's silly. WWE is silly and hokey, and they take the best of ideas and they take a massive crap on them. And I don't care. It's their company. They can do if they want to. But then we all sit back and go, I didn't see that coming. Come on, guys, for real. What would be interesting is if Nikki turned on her first. That would be interesting and makes Alexa the face. I don't know. We'll see what happens. No, Jim, I get you, brother. It's all good. Bliss and Cross won on Monday. They defended at SummerSlam. Yep. So, yeah. You're right. My bad. Yeah, my bad. You're right. Sorry about that. You called me out. Good job. Thank you. You woke me up on that one. Thank you, Andrew. Yes. So, yeah, the Iconics lost for sure. Terrible match. It is what it is at this point with the women's tag team titles. It's crazy to say that, isn't it? But you're 100% right on that. Hello, Claire in Manchester, UK. Claire's heading to Florida. Awesome. Claire, I'm in North Carolina. You should stop by North Carolina and say hi. Claire, have you been to the States before? I think you have, haven't you? Pretty sure? Awesome. Welcome to the country when you get here. Sorry that we're so stupid. There's a lot of stupid people here. If you don't know that, you're about to find out. Trust me when I tell you that, okay? Anyway. Yeah, but Jim, back to what you said. It is what it is at this point with the women's tag team titles. What a sad comment. What a sad commentary on this thing that could have been so good. We had high hopes when Sasha and Bayley had them, didn't we? And those hopes evaporated really, really quickly. Thanks to who? WWE, Jack. That's to who. Nathan, you're right. Plenty of stupid people around the world. But, look who we have in charge of this place over here. There you go. Raymond says, Iconics go back to Australia now. Oh, let's don't be rude. Come on. Of course, I just called everybody stupid. Not everybody. Not you guys. You and me are cool. The audience is, my audience isn't stupid at all. All right? So there you go. Rebecca says they're evolving the women's division. It will take time. Hopefully it'll be great. But it's a constantly evolving thing, Rebecca, to your point. Always a work in progress. We're going to get to the WWE Championship match there, Anthony. Hold tight. Claire, you're going to... Florida's hot, Claire. Florida's hot. Okay? Get ready for that. Trust me when I tell you that. Let's see. Orton Kofi match had me almost throwing the remote at the TV. That's good stuff. Who should be the next opponent for The Fiend? I have no idea, man. I have no idea. Supposedly they're wanting to make The Fiend special, and they're wanting to make him like a special attraction, not feature him every single week. So I don't know what that means for Bray or what it means moving forward for WWE. I'm sure they'll find someone, so we'll see what happens. Who would you guys want to see wrestle? The Fiend. Demon King Finn. If that is his real name. We'll see if he comes back right now. The rumor, the scuttlebutt online was that Finn was going to take some much needed time off. We'll see when and if that transpires. So, Mysterio heel turn. Shane, I don't hate it, but at the same time, who would he turn heel on? And the problem with Ray as a heel, my humble opinion, is he's so small. And now he's older. You know what I mean? So, who exactly would he be heel on without becoming the sympathetic figure once again? I'm sure it's possible. But if you're Ray, you know what? I still say put Ray on 205 Live and have him run through there like Neville did. If you really want to turn him heel and do it the right way, that's what I would do. Have him squash. Not kill these guys. I don't mean squash in the negative term, but have him show up and say, you want to talk about, who did this first? This show wouldn't have been here if not for me. I made this show possible. Without me, none of you guys would have a job. How about that? That would work. Finn is getting married, Victor. You're right about that, for sure. That's what? Yeah, is that right? Yeah. I did read that somewhere, didn't I? Seth Rollins for The Fiend? Interesting. That's a jump, isn't it? For the championship. But Shane, you could very well be right. It's WWE. So, yeah, Jeff, and supposedly the Lantern is going away. Is that right? Jim says Finn should turn heel and join the OC since he's the one that started the Bullet Club in the first place. But I bet Vince doesn't even know that. That's a good point. That's a good point. Ray wants to face his son in a mass match. Ugh. I mean, is it too early for that? Thank you, Eric. Appreciate that. Let's see. Anyone else on what we talked about? Want to move on to the next match? We can if you want to. Let's do this. Raw Women's Champion Becky Lynch versus Natalya. Becky Lynch versus Natalya was a good match. It was a really good match. I thought it. I thought it checked all the boxes. I'll put it this way. I thought it checked all the boxes, and I thought it was better than what some people thought it was going to be, myself included. I enjoyed it. I thought it was hard hitting. I thought both women stepped up their game, and I thought it looked good. And I don't have anything really negative to say about it. Shane says Drew Mack for the King of the Ring Championship. King of the Ring Champion. Maybe. We'll see. Yeah, Raymond, to your point, that Kevin Owens thing about the money, got to put my kid through college and feed my kid and all that family stuff, that was just so odd. I don't know where that even came from. It made Kevin look weak for a second, but that's WWE. That's how they book, man. You know what I mean? Let's just be honest and call it for what it is. WWE has some of the silliest booking on the planet. But yet we all continue to watch and we all continue to hope for good nights. And, not the end of the world. It is what it is. They go in the directions they want to go in. Nathan says Becky is really running out of steam. She's far more compelling chasing the title than holding it. Nathan, you might have a point there. A lot of people are feeling that way. Remember when Austin first won the championship? Not to keep doing the man with Stone Cold comparison here, I know, right? But I kind of had the feeling when Austin first won the belt, because when he got the belt, I'm like, great, now what? Like, I didn't give up on him. His best days were to come, right? But still, it kind of felt like, how do you follow that? You know what I mean? I see where you're coming from for sure. I don't know if Natty's injury is real or not. I don't think so, Jenna. I don't think so. But yeah, Nathan, back to what you said. A lot of people believe that right now for sure. King of the Ring, Strowman. Yeah, Strowman. Listen, you guys know my point of view on Braun. I've said it multiple times here on the program. I'll probably say it again before it's over. Braun Strowman is a spoiler. He's not the top guy. He's not a top guy in that company because he's a spoiler. He's the guy that gets in the way of the babyface on the way to the title, or he gets in the way of the heel on the way to the title, or he's the guy that challenges the heel for the title or the babyface. That's his job as a spoiler. For whatever reason, WWE is sold on him as a talent and as a performer. They're not sold on him as a top talent and top performer for whatever reason. Even though Vince has a man crush on the big guys, and he always has, right? We've only heard about that for 30 years, right? Or longer. But for some reason, Braun just can't get the time of day when it comes to main event success with gold. And that's just how it is. You can like it, you can love it, you can hate it, you can despise it. Doesn't make a difference. It's just WWE. I think he's a spoiler, and I think he's that role in the company. He has that role in the company. Well, good, Anthony. Hope you're right about the Atlanta not going anywhere. For real. Andrew talking about he's going to watch our Tom Clark. Thank you, Andrew. You're awesome, man. AEW massively better than WWE. Proper attitude wrestling. The good old days. Man, that's a good. I was going to say good. That's an interesting take. I mean, a lot of people share your opinion for sure. Phil says his mic skills aren't great. You're talking about Braun, right? I think Braun's better than what he has been. Braun has definitely been coached. You see the way he holds the microphone up under his nose to his top lip? That's a coaching thing. They told him to do that. Chances are they have. I mean, he could have done that on his own, but that's sort of, listen, really get that voiceover, be that controlling, dominating, strong voice, put that mic way up there so you don't have to shout. You know what I mean? It's kind of how it feels. He's much better than he used to be, but no, I totally get your point. Jim says WWE's going to be selling those lanterns. God, money, anywhere they can make a buck, right? Can't fault them for that, of course, but geez, does that take some of the edge off the gimmick? I think so. Should Braun be a Heyman guy? At this point, I think only Brock's going to be a Heyman guy, and I think if you work on Monday Night Raw, you're going to be a Heyman guy, essentially. Because Paul, well, I was going to say Paul's calling the shots. Paul's not calling anything. Paul is just, Paul's going to be there at the behest of the man in charge. You know what I mean? Paul's not even the underboss at this point. Maybe he is. You could say that, I guess. But y'all got to answer to Vince, man. All got to answer to Vince. So there you go. Okay, let's move on here. Goldberg defeated Dolph Ziggler. Goldberg gets his fair share of hate, and it's silly, and it's dumb. People know who and what Goldberg is, and they want Goldberg to be something he's not, and he's not that thing, and he never will be that thing. And if you don't know that by now, after 20 years of this, however long it's been, you're crazy. Goldberg is not Shawn Michaels. Goldberg is not The Undertaker. Goldberg is not Bret Hart, and Goldberg is not Ric Flair or even Triple H. Goldberg is Goldberg. He has his own shtick. He has his own routine. He is his own act. He is his own man. And again, you can hate that. Like Thanos said, you can dread it. You can loathe it. You can run from it. Right? It doesn't matter. Goldberg is what he is. And you can waste a lot of time crying about it. You can waste a lot of time wishing and hoping and praying that he was something else and could be something else and be what you want him to be. He's not. So let's understand that before we start bashing this guy in the skull. Okay? For real. Can't we just please do that for a change? Goldberg had a good Goldberg match, and Dolph was a good opponent for Goldberg to give Goldberg a good Goldberg match. WWE brought Goldberg back to be Goldberg and have Goldberg matches. They didn't bring him in to become Shawn Michaels, become Triple H, become Booker T. They want him to be Goldberg. That's what he does best, and when he's on his game, no one can be Goldberg better than Goldberg can. Okay? I wish we could all just relax on this guy and call it for what it is. You know what I mean? There's so much hate when it comes to this guy and some other people for sure. Jim, you're right, but Dolph, listen, you can always say no. Dolph's in a position, I think, where he's okay to say no. Don't you think? Don't you think Dolph's earned that right? I'm just saying, man. Tim, what's up? You were just in time, man. Hello in Indiana, Tim. We're just now talking about SummerSlam. Rebecca says, did Dolph have an agreement verbal with Vince so he could leave? Then Vince said, no, you can't. Rebecca, I can tell you this, that Dolph does not have the usual typical contract with WWE. I don't know if it's a handshake agreement, but it's something different because he said that recently in the past few months, I believe. So yeah, there's something different going on there, but I don't know. I think Dolph is biding his time until his contract is officially up, in my opinion. And I think he will go to AEW and he will be Nick Nemeth and he will come up with a catchy nickname for himself, and they'll go from there. Is what I believe. So that's just me. We'll see. Maybe I'm wrong. He's a WWE lifer till the day he retires. Who knows? But that's kind of what I feel about it. Jim, yeah, and you know what, Jim? What's wrong with Dolph knowing his role and enjoying getting paid? To your point, I'm with Jim. Nothing wrong with it, right? I mean, he knows his role. He knows the ship has sailed in that company. Just like the ship never came up to the pier for Braun. If it did, it sailed right past him, right? Dolph was on the ship and was kicked off into the water, okay? Call it for what it is. It's amazing to me that we're still talking about Dolph Ziggler these years later not getting a fair shake. Isn't that something? No, Douglas, Dolph doesn't think he's another Shawn Michaels. That is all storyline. I'm sure Dolph has a deep respect for Shawn. I'm sure they're friends behind the scenes. That's all storyline. Admiration and respect, I'm sure, is what that's rooted in. Key says Goldberg and Heyman are the ultimate team. Brock speaks his words with his power. Heyman is his voice. Hard to beat that. Goldberg and Heyman. So you meant Lesnar and Heyman are the ultimate team. Brock speaks his words with his power. Heyman is his voice. Hard to beat that. Yeah, for sure. And Victor Ziggler has done stand-up comedy for sure. Jim, you think he's better than that? Deserves better? Again, well, see, here's the thing, Jim. Dolph's only getting older. I mean, when's the last time Dolph signed a contract? Because I don't have an answer. Let's say it was 12 months ago. If Dolph is of the opinion that you are, why didn't he leave? Do you know what I mean? Why did he sign again? Let's say he signed 6 months ago. Why didn't he just leave? If he is of the opinion that you are, that we all have been, why didn't he just go? He's single. He's not married, right? He's probably been smart with his money, is my guess. I'm just throwing it out there. I don't know. I don't have his checkbook account in front of me. Yeah. But again, if he's not happy, why didn't he just split? He's got name and face recognition. He can't take the name with him, but he could do something different, right? I'm just saying. There you go, Jim. Last year. Why didn't he just go? Even if AEW wasn't in the picture, there's other companies. Can you imagine Dolph Ziggler in New Japan? Can you imagine that? Dolph Ziggler in New Japan having killer matches with Okada? I mean, with even Tanahashi, with Jay White, just killing it. With Hiroki Goto, with Tomohiro Ishii, Dolph Ziggler. The guy that sells like a rag doll getting tossed around the ring and makes you feel for him like Ricky Morton did and still does. I mean, dude, he could have left. He chose not to. Our opinion and our view of these guys, and I'm the same as everyone else here, folks. I sit back from a distance and go, this guy deserves better. He's earned it. He's worked hard for it. He signed a new contract. He's happy. He's happy enough to sign a contract. So are we right all the time? Or is this the fan in us talking? And guess what's wrong with that? Nothing. It's cool to want better for the guys and gals that you love in the ring. Nothing wrong with that at all. I'm just saying, I think the truth versus the truth the way we see it are two different things a lot of the times. You know what I mean? That's my opinion. Well, Revival's not going anywhere, Jamil, for sure. They're stuck. They wanted to leave, didn't happen. And now they tacked on time to contracts because of Dawson getting hurt. So there you go. They're not going anywhere anytime soon. Jeff, I agree with you. Flourish in NJPW for sure. All right, let's move on. United States Champion AJ Styles defeated Ricochet. Let me ask you guys a question, and I want you... No, Nathan, nothing new on the NWA TV situation. I've actually reached out to them in an attempt to do coverage for that company, and I can't get an answer back. I'm going to have to email them again to see if they're serious, because I've tweeted Dave Lagana and spoke to him a couple of times, but nothing's materialized of it. I don't know why. It's weird. Like, I'm not trying to be in anyone's pocket, but you've got a guy who's sitting here that's who's writing and stuff, and it can help be an asset, I believe, in my own small way, but yet I can't get an email back. It's really an odd situation. But I'll keep you up to date if I get anything on that. So here's where I'm coming down at on the AJ Ricochet match. This should be better. This should be better. I think this is... I should come away from Ricochet and AJ Styles match going, oh my God. I'm not. Do you know what I mean? Now, why am I not? Is it because I expect too much? Is it because I think it's going to be bigger than what it's going to be? Is it because they're not performing? They're not living up to that expectation? Is it a combination of all those things? I don't know what the answer is. I don't know that I have an answer for you, but it's something, right? But I feel like Styles versus Ricochet should be, no pun intended, phenomenal. So I don't know. Andrew says, I thought AJ was going to have a match tonight. I was disappointed. Interesting. Expected so much more Styles. Yeah, Michael, I think a lot of people agree with that. It could be better. Ricochet and Styles should kill it. And I'm not mad at either one of them. Here's what I think, okay? Sometimes the best of the best have zero chemistry. I'm not saying that that's these guys. I'm not saying that at all. At the same time, here's what I'm saying. If they do have chemistry, it's not showing. It's not evident. That's my opinion. Again, they should be a lot better together. And again, the best that have chemistry together deliver fantastic matches and matches of the month and of the week and of the year. And I don't know if I see that with these two guys. Now, maybe they just haven't found the groove. Maybe they will. And maybe they will have a match that makes us all stand up and cheer and shout. And I hope so. I love both guys. We'll see what happens. Brad says Ricochet versus Styles is a good match. Styles is starting to show that he can't beat the younger talent without help. Ricochet's athleticism makes the match. Styles should dump the OC and focus on the big. But Brad, they just started the gimmick, man. I get where you're coming from, but they just started the gimmick. So, do you think Cena will get the 17th title win? No, sir, I don't. I don't think he wants it, nor do I think he should get it. Ricochet versus Seth Rollins, I think is coming, Andrew. That would probably be phenomenal. You know what I mean? We're getting to Kofi and Orton for sure. Everyone's upset about it, and I hear you. Full on hear you. Styles versus Ricochet has been never done. They face each other way too many times to make their match special. Any more, less is more. Jim, you're right. Less is more. Make the people want it. You know what I mean? Make them come back. Make them keep coming back. Leave them breathless and wanting more. Go off the air like David Crockett saying, we have to go, fans will see you next week. And you're screaming going, what just happened? I missed it. See what I mean? That's what you want. Liam says, what's your take on the OC? I feel it's Vince's attempt to make Bullet Club relevant WWE cashing in, you would say. Yeah, I think that's obvious. They've done everything but rip off Bullet Club's logo. WWE, in Vince's opinion, Vince will look at anything and say, oh, they did that, I'll do it better. A lot of times WWE's been right about that. They can do something better. I think they saw, I don't know if Vince saw it personally, but I think that Vince saw or heard or knew about Styles versus Nakamura, Tokyo Dome, Wrestle Kingdom, and said, I can do better. I can do better. And he didn't do better. Do you know what I mean? It didn't work. It just didn't work. For whatever reason, it didn't work. I think some matches work the best in the right atmosphere. And I think that match was one of the matches that has to have the right atmosphere. Not to get off target here. But I think maybe that's what we're seeing right now. Vince and company sees the Bullet Club and they say, well, can't take the name. We can't stop them from doing this. They've kind of stopped them because Bullet Club turns it underneath and they go like that. Very smart, right? Got to hand it to them. But, they can't make them stop that. So what will they do? They'll do their own version of Bullet Club and they'll screw it up like they did the NWO. It's Vince. They don't care. And let's just face it. I did a poll. Hang on, guys. I did a poll on Wrestling Rumors a couple weeks ago that asked if how many people watch wrestling other than WWE. Less than half the people that responded watch wrestling other than WWE. That's very telling. There's so much wrestling out there to watch. Less than half the people that voted or chose, on the poll said they watched something besides WWE. Everyone's watching WWE. Now, for all you hardcore pro wrestling fans out there that watch all the content you can get, like me, okay, look at that saying, how do you just watch Vince McMahon's company? Are you kidding? It's the truth. They just do. And there's no getting away from that. There's no getting away from that. What are you going to do? You know what I mean? So if you count yourself among those that only watch WWE, it's fine. It's perfectly fine. I'd encourage you to open your eyes and look around and find some other wrestling to watch. Take time out of your day. You won't be sorry. And even if you do find something you don't like, try another channel. Try another company. You'll find something you like. I promise you that. What's up, Bit? Welcome back to the show. Yep, G1 was fantastic, by the way. She ended up buying to AEW. Douglas, come on, man. Just don't have time for more. Michael, I can respect that. What's up, Alma? SummerSlam was half good. Disappointing. Couldn't finish. Yeah, we're talking about SummerSlam right now, actually. Lumis Lopez says, I love wrestling. There's so much great wrestling out there. Oh, my God. I so agree with you. By the way, Austin Theory, current Evolve champion and WWN champion, has now reported to NXT, the Performance Center. Theory is very good. If you've never seen him live, Austin Theory is fantastic. He could be... I compare him to John Cena, not in terms of, his work, but like his look and his everything and his love of the business. This guy is truly has the heart for this. I'm anxious to see what's going to happen with him. See where he's going to go. Jim says so much on the Fight app and the regular shows are free to watch. Absolutely. Andrew, are you kidding? Until I started watching Tom Clark's main event, I didn't even know there was any other promotions. Andrew, guess what, bro? I am not going to slam you for that at all. I'm not going to tease you or make fun of you. You know why? Because I appreciate that. I appreciate you saying that, man. Because to fans who do watch all this other content, that sounds like a crazy comment. Doesn't sound like it to me. Thank you for allowing me the opportunity to open your eyes to some other content that's out there, man. That's very cool you say that. And you know what? There's so much more coming, too. Everyone, read Andrew's comment and take note of that. Fantastic. It's all about the business. The boy's back. You going to say anything this time? Have you been outside?
No.
No? Too hot, right?
Yeah, but I'm about to.
Okay. So is Vince going to be taking over NXT once it's on FS1? Jamel's getting us back on track. So the rumor and scuttlebutt that's come out this week is that Vince McMahon is going to take more of an interest in NXT. This, my friends, will be the day the music died. Okay? This will be it. This will be the end of NXT as we know it. If this is true, if this comes to pass, and control and ultimate say-so is taken out of Triple H's hands, this will be the end of NXT as we know it. And it will not be a good day for any fan on the planet or anywhere else, because this will be a catastrophe. Mark my words. Because if NXT is going to compete directly with AEW on Wednesday nights in the same time slot on FS1, they will do everything they can do to make NXT look like AEW or to WWE NXT up, which means stupid promos, silly storylines, people, what did Moxley say, taking a pie in the face? That's what you're going to see. I don't want it. I dread it. It's going to happen more than likely. And when it does, it's over. Okay? Not that the brand's over. It's not going anywhere. But as we know it today, it will end. Then you may as well go to the new roster, the main roster, because why not? You know what I mean? And if I'm so negative, fine. I'd love to be wrong. I would love to be wrong. Jim says if that's true, Triple H should literally fight Vince. That's his baby, and has turned it into a legit brand. Yeah, they're family though, man. I get you, and I love the comment. You're 100% right. But yeah, they're. I don't see it. Would you please get off the dog, for goodness sake? The dog hates the boy. He does. One day they're gonna have a grudge match in the middle of the floor, and it's gonna be, tables, ladders, and chairs. Oh my. Oh, Shane. Oh, God, Shane just killed us. Shane just pulled back and fired at us, folks. Everyone read Shane's comment.
What is it?
It will be like the ECW brand. You're talking about WWE's ECW, I assume, yes? Shane, everyone just go like Shane's comment right now. I'm going to do it right now. I never do this during a show. Shane, I think you're right. I think that's what you're looking at. I think it will be it'll be Vince McMahon's attempt at doing NXT, which will be WWE's attempt at doing ECW. Hey, look, Andrew says, let the boy run NXT. I think you should take over. You want to put my toothpick down?
Toothpick.
All right. What are you, Razor Ramon? You don't get that joke, do you? Put it down.
I'm going to go outside now.
All right. Be careful. So, yeah, Nathan, you're right. So, yeah, God bless it, Shane. You just killed us, man. You killed us, but I think you've nailed it. In one fell swoop, you took my mood down, but you completely impressed me. Shane, I may use that in a column. Shane, I'm going to use that in a column. Shane, do I have your permission to use that in a column? That's fantastic. I love that. My God in heaven. Yeah, so, yeah. Man, I dread it. I dread it. Liam says he's already took a lot of power from Triple H from bringing in Paul Heyman. That's why I take. But Liam, at the same time, could Triple H be the guy, weekly main roster? Would he even want that? I don't know. That's a good question. Orlando, we're getting to Bray. Hold up, bro. I haven't forgot about you, man. I'm seeing you. I'm seeing the Fiend. Hang tight, man. You got to keep watching, man. You can't tune in and ask a question and split on me. Hang out. This is where the cool kids hang out, Orlando. You didn't know that? Yikes. We're going to get to you, man. We're coming up soon. Did USA Wrestling move to Nashville? David's asking. What USA Wrestling are we talking about? Cody's laughing at Vince right now. Well, maybe. Man, we got off topic. Let's get back to it, shall we? SmackDown Women's Champion Bayley defeated Ember Moon. It was an okay match. I wasn't exactly in love with it, but it is what it is. We're going to hit a few of these, okay? Kevin Owens versus defeated Shane McMahon. Kevin sells too much for Shane, but everyone does. Shane is not a trained full-time professional wrestler. He shouldn't be in the ring. It's over. It was never on. Shane was at his best when he was in his 20s and bumping for Kurt Angle, and those days are gone. G-O-N, gone. Okay? Over. He needs to get out of the ring. It's flat out ridiculous at this point. Put my dog in a pair of trunks and tell him to go in there and be the wrestling dog, like John Lennon said. Ridiculous. No desire to see that anymore at all. Charlotte Flair defeated Trish Stratus in a battle of legends, which I thought could have been much, much better. Don't know why it wasn't much better. You know, it is what it is. Ms. Lopez says Shane can't wrestle. Shane McMahon is garbage, Christopher says. Phil says, I think I walked the dog during the KO Shane match. Phil brings up a great point. Is Shane helping KO in the slightest? Is any of this helping Owens at all? I don't know. Anthony says, get him off TV, please. Yep. Joe says, I like Shane as management. I like Shane not on my TV. It's got nothing to do with him being a heel. I don't think they need him. Here's the deal, folks. As we've said before, as we will say again and again and again, you can hate it, you can loathe it, you can despise it. He is McMahon's son. He is a part of the McMahon family. He's not going anywhere until he wants to. And that means he's probably never going to go anywhere again, which means you're stuck. So if you don't like it that much, turn the channel when he's on or just stop watching because he's there. You know what I mean? There again, folks, we can hate it all day long. It doesn't really make a difference. It is what it is. So, crazy. Liam says Shane shouldn't be allowed anywhere near the company running every week. I feel like turn off when he comes on. Ruining the company every. Yeah, well, listen, Liam. Part of that's his heel character. Part of it's reality in terms of what he brings to the show. Is he bringing anything to the show? I don't know. Jamil says, I don't understand half WWE's booking from your lips to the ears of God. All right, folks, moving on. The match everyone's upset about, WWE Champion Kofi Kingston versus Randy Orton, was an okay match. It was not a great match. There again, is there any chemistry happening between these two gentlemen in the squared circle? I don't, and I submit that there is not. I don't believe that there is. I just don't. I'm not feeling it at all. I love Kofi. I do love Randy. Hard for me to analyze this one. I just feel like I feel like the mechanics are there because Randy Orton is a mechanic in the ring. No disrespect. He's one of the best in that company, of course, of all time. I would have to say underrated and in terms of what he can do in the ring. Can he be mechanical? Absolutely. And again, is that negative? No, it's not. It's just my opinion, just my view. But I love Randy. I do. And I love Kofi. I'm not feeling this. And I think at some point the blame will fall on Kofi, not by Randy. That's all storyline. You guys know that, right? Those days are over, for real. But in my opinion, I think Vince will look at it eventually and say, it's on Kofi. Let's take the belt off of him. And I wouldn't be surprised if it happens. CJ Pell says, a fan of both, and I like the no contest. Think Kofi and I keep title for a while. No, well, the no contest decision keeps Randy in the title picture, which is, I think, what they're hoping for. So, Billy says every match felt like they should have been so much better for sure. Jim says, why did Randy RKO him and then lay on his back laughing? Match could have ended there. Well, Jim, that goes to Randy's ego. It was actually a brilliant move there. It's Randy's way of saying, ha, see, Kofi's like all the rest. This was a cakewalk. And then he didn't win. See, I actually like that. I thought that was a nice touch. Toby says they don't mesh together at all. Anthony says I feel like they need to put the title back on Orton. Last title run was too short. But Anthony haven't said that. We've said it before on the show. You're making me do the head thing. Okay. We've said it before on the show. When Randy beat Bray at Mania that year, people were excited. When Randy was on SmackDown the following Tuesday, he was booed out of the ring. People like the idea of an Orton title run more than they like the Orton title run. And maybe you're an exception. Maybe there's some exceptions out there. But I would say, for the most part, most of the time, that people enjoy talking about it and want to see it more than they actually like seeing it when it happens. That's me. Before you can go, I get a shout out for Lionheart who gets his final farewell next week, and I'll be there in front of us. Big names on the card. Lionheart who gets his final farewell next week, and I'll be there in front of entire. So Liam, tell me what you're talking about here. Tell me what you're talking about. So I think I do, but bring me up to date on what you're saying. Oh, Tim. Okay, so listen, we're on to the next match. You guys ready? Did everyone stay for my analysis of The Fiend, Bray Wyatt? Oh, this is so awesome. Let's talk about The Fiend. Toby says, I'm late, but screw Becky and Bray stole the show. Good Lord. Toby bringing the heat, man. Okay, so Orlando, I'm not going to hate on you for that, bro. Not at all. I like Orton as well. I interviewed Orton. If you haven't checked it out, any of you guys that don't know the past episodes of the show, I did the Randy Orton interview last year, I think it was. Go check it out. It was a good interview. Guy's awesome. Very cool to talk to, by the way. Very cool to talk to. Okay, so The Fiend. Here we go. Ready? I thought it was creative. I thought it was exciting. I thought it was compelling TV. I loved watching it. I loved the camera panning back and forth across him. I love the weird angles. I love the head lantern. I love everything about Bray Wyatt's new gimmick. I think it's so much better. It's so much more cinematic. It's so much more theatrical. It's so much more compelling. It's so much more thought-provoking. It's so much more intense. It's so much more horrific than anything I could have imagined possible. What is your deal now? What? Speak or get off the show?
It's too hot.
Then quit going outside. Phil says, how often does The Fiend show up? I don't think The Fiend is going to show up all that often. Jim says the whole thing is fantastic. I completely agree with you 100%. I thought it was top notch. I'm happy for Bray. I'm very happy for Bray. The Fiend is what happens after you get deleted. That's how it should be. Interesting, Bill. I like that take. Interesting. Moment of the night. Robbie, can't agree more. Perfectly orchestrated, 100%. Fiend stole the show. Anthony, I'm with you. Keep hitting me. Need more Funhouse. Mark, blah, Brad says, get rid of the Fiend. Hot take from Brad. Wow. Naman says, the Fiend should feud with those who defeated Bray Wyatt in the past, like Cena or... Ooh. Naman, I don't hate that. I don't hate that, man. God, I like that, actually. I really like that. If not defeat, then show up and take them down. Right? Oh, dude, I'm not hating that at all. Fiend versus Demon. Everyone's saying that for sure. You're not the only one, no doubt about it. They will ruin the Fiend as ever you. Thanks, Toby. Let's get to the heart of the matter. There's two hands. See this? He's got the whole world in his... Nothing. In one hand, you got Bray Wyatt. And with this hand goes all the fan expectations, hopes, desires, dreams, fantasies, everything that we envision for him that could be possible in the future and today and yesterday and everything to come. That's in this hand. Okay? And as well as his potential, what we think he's capable of, what we believe he can do if provided the right platform, given the right storyline, and allowed the moment to express himself and to rise up. This hand is WWE. When those two hands come together, that's when it's destroyed or the magic happens. And a lot of times, the WWE hand is a whole lot heavier and a whole lot higher, if that makes sense. That's the problem. Every time there's a great idea in that company that makes us stand up and cheer and love and go nuts. How many times does that happen? And we say, well, they screwed that up. Happens all the time. I don't want that to happen here. Toby, I love your point. Yeah, get even with those that wronged him. I loved it. Absolutely. Anthony, no, he will not be given full creative control. As long as there's a breath in Vince McMahon's body, that will never happen for anyone on the card. I get what you're saying. I think you know that, but I get it. But we'll see what happens. Cautious optimism. I don't know how I feel about this. I don't know how I feel about it. Shane says WWE ruined Samoa Joe's face turn by making him wrestle Sami Zayn in Canada. Interesting. That's an interesting take. Liam, I'm going to read the link, my friend. We're going to hit on it after we cover the main event, okay? And I'll read it out loud to everyone that knows. Phil, it says it'll be weird to see him win the Rumble, but who knows? Troy says it'll be great to see if he can make his lanterns look like each of his upcoming victims. Ooh, Troy. Shut up with that, Troy. God, I love that. I'm really loving that. That's awesome. Troy may get the no prize of the day, folks. It's a good one. But I don't know. Shane's a close one for that. I think Shane won it. Should the Fiend be the one who will retire the Undertaker? Whew. The words Undertaker and retirement went together. They don't need more. You know why? Because Taker's not going anywhere. For whatever reason, he's not going anywhere. I like your idea, though. We shall see. Yes? How soon till Aleister Black wins his first title? Whenever Vince McMahon decides to pull the trigger. Aleister versus The Fiend, I see that happening. But who do you put over? That's the kicker. That's the key. If all you do is job out Bray every chance you get, then what's different than it was before? What's different? Nothing. The mask, the gear, the finishing move. That's it. What's different? The main event, SummerSlam. Seth Rollins defeats Brock Lesnar to become the new Universal Champion. There's your show, folks. How did you feel about Seth Rollins versus the Beast Incarnate? I have written a piece that will publish on the Chairshot this weekend that examines in a little bit more detail how important this win was for Seth. Not only for Seth, but for Brock Lesnar. For one of the first times in recent memory, and I know there's been others, don't get upset with me here, but for one of the first times in recent memory, unless you're counting Goldberg, and maybe even then you can't even count Goldberg, Seth Rollins met Brock Lesnar on Brock Lesnar's terms. Seth didn't cheat. He didn't use a weapon. He didn't use a low blow. He didn't catch Brock off guard. He didn't hit a lucky move. He didn't catch him by surprise. He didn't pull the trunks or use a chair. He didn't flip the ropes when it was advantageous. Brock didn't slip. He didn't mistime a move. Seth didn't do anything underhanded. Seth met Brock on Brock's playing field and beat Brock Lesnar clean. Think about that. You think that WWE doesn't have faith in Seth Rollins? You still think Roman Reigns is the top guy? I got news for you, folks. If there is a top guy in that company right now, it's Seth freaking Rollins. Period. And I think that we were shown that at SummerSlam. I think it was a much better match. Joe, that looks like another word. So, titleless, I think is what you were going for, but it looks like something else, and I'm not going to repeat it out loud. That made my day. Toby says that Seth just can't carry the company. Well, I'm not saying you gotta love it. I'm just saying that's where WWE's at right now. He's the guy. He's the guy. Seth defeating Brock clean was epic. Brock's part-time wrestler. I see where you're going with that for sure. Better match when I thought it would be. First real match Brock had in a long time. Great. Yep. Justin, I'm with you. And I thought it was, again, like everybody's saying, I thought it was much better than what everyone thought it was going to be, myself included. Smoothest match of the night. Kudos to both guys. Can't hate on Brock. Robbie, I agree with you. Yep. So Orlando says, I love Seth Rollins. Orlando, were you cool with my take on Bray and everything? We finally talked about the Fiend for you, man. And for a bunch of other people. Phil says he's going to hold that belt for a long time. Yeah, Phil, I think you're right on that. Who in the world's going to beat him? Who do you think of Jeff, as soon as I said that, who do you think is going to next face Seth? Braun, maybe. We'll see. Seth's winning. That's what I think. You know what I mean? Miss Lopez, I think it's fine. I think when I'm talking about characters, I'm not talking about the real guy. When you play the games the way Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman plays them in terms of storyline and characters, where they're like, we do what we want. He comes and goes as he wants, that kind of thing. Then I think the game can be flipped back on you. And part of that game says you don't get a title, you don't get a rematch, you don't get another title shot. So I think you're playing by the rules that you set. They're going to play by the rules that you set. They're going to flip the script. I'm good with that. It gets Brock off TV and gets him out of your mind for a while until he mysteriously shows back up and destroys everybody again. Troy says, for some reason, I see Seth and Roman for the title. That'd be compelling TV for sure. Is Lesnar leaving? He might be leaving for a while. I don't think it'll be full time. Thanks, Orlando. Appreciate that. AJ needs to face Rollins. Maybe it will be AJ. Could be. Have they already killed that as well, though? I don't know. Yeah, Jen, I didn't count the suplex. Did anyone get a count on the amount of Germans that Seth took? I don't think it was 10, was it? Maybe I'm wrong. AJ Universal Champion. It's possible. Seth Roman can carry this company. Great that they are on different brands, and hopefully Roman takes the WWE title. Ooh. Champion versus champion. Seth versus Roman. That's interesting. Yep, for sure, Toby. 100%. Good match. Yep. 7 or 8. Yeah, I think you're right. 5. Jenna says 5. Yep. Brock, I think, will be on the SmackDown when they go live on the Fox network. We'll see what happens from there. All right, folks, we're going to touch on something before we split today. You guys remember the story, these pop-ups. Do you accept the cookies on this? I love cookies. I shouldn't be eating them. So, all right. So we were talking about Liam Sinleak, I'm trying to get this thing to work. It's being a pain. Bear with me real quick, folks, if you will. The story about Lionheart, who passed away at the age of 35. Extremely sad story. I think we all remember that, right? Let's see. Yeah. God, this thing. Hear all the clicking? My apologies for the clicking, man. Oh, I may have to watch this later, Liam. I was going to let everyone know what it is. Okay, Liam, we're going to have to cover this later. Yeah, so we were talking about Lionheart passing away at the age of 35. Truly sad story. Yeah, cookies suck. Well, the cookies online suck, put it that way. Do I talk about upcoming movies, Salvador? No, usually not, unless they're wrestling related. We do our wrestling here all the time. Brock SmackDown, would Heyman accompany him, or would Brock go solo for once? I don't think there's any way that Heyman and Brock are splitting up anytime soon. Miss Lopez, I agree with you. Very sad. 35 years old. Did he commit suicide? I don't want to put that out there unless it happened. I apologize for not knowing the answer to this. Shane, you're right. Indeed. Rest in peace, Eddie Marlin, for sure. Yeah, Mark, I think this is going to be an anniversary of SmackDown, the first show on the Fox network, for sure. So they'll have all the stars back. Yeah. Wow, dude, suicide. Jeez, yikes. So I was thinking about this, and this may become a column at some point in the near future. WWE is one of the only companies that jumps to recent memory. And I know comparing them to the NBA and NFL is kind of a silly thing to do. I get it. But it's one of the only real companies that leans so heavily on its past. WWE leans so heavily on its past. It's unreal. I can't think of another wrestling company in the history of the business that leans on its past as much as WWE. You could say WCW, but WCW leaned on the shoulders of past stars to actually carry the company. WWE's not doing that. But they lean on their past so much. And I'm okay with that. It's their company. They can do whatever they want. I just don't know how exciting that is to see all the time. How great is it when you see it all the time? It's not special if you see it all the time. Am I wrong in that assessment? Yeah. SmackDown Legend Reunion October. So far. Yeah. Brad's with it. There you go. Paige's movie is good, Phil. I saw it before it opened in theaters. I was invited to a premiere. It was really good. So, yeah. Montree's back again. You're back in time to say goodbye to everybody. Will The Rock beat the SmackDown Fox premiere? I would be shocked if The Rock's not there in some capacity. He may be live via satellite. But wouldn't it be cool if he was actually in the ring? I think it's possible. I think he'll be there. Yep. SmackDown will stay 2 hours to go to 3 like Raw. To my knowledge, Justin, it's just 2 hours. God forbid we don't need a 3-hour SmackDown, man, at all. Severin had a birthday. Listen, I saw about your birthday, bro. I didn't forget about you. Everyone wish Severin a happy birthday. Happy birthday, Severin, who's big fan of the show, watches all the time. I appreciate you watching, man. It means a lot. Happy birthday, Severin. Happy belated birthday, my friend. Mark says, Raw is too long. Orlando says, do you ever see New Day breaking up? Orlando, I hope they never break up. I love the New Day. I love them. I love them. Yep, SmackDown's moving to Friday, for sure. Yep. Friday night SmackDown. Yeah, they tried it before. We'll see what happens. Friday's a terrible night for TV, especially prime time. So, in prime time, major networks, I guess. We'll see what happens. All right, folks, we've covered some stuff this week. He is filming Fast and Furious. But God, surely he can show up for 30 minutes. You know what I mean? Fly in. How do we know? We don't know that, Brad, yet, do we? Has it been confirmed he's not going to be there? Let's see. Let's see if he does. Liam, again, I apologize for not getting your story on the air here. You're talking about going, I guess, an event to give Lionheart a proper send-off. Hope the event's great. Please feel free to post some photos and video if you can get any. Tag me in your photos and stuff, and I will repost it for you. I'm interested to see how it goes. Thank you for sending me that information. I will catch up on it shortly. Jim says it's great to intertwine the legends with the current talent. I've always thought it was cool to learn about the legends, but it has to be done right. At least help the younger talent get over. I agree with you, Jim. Well said, my friend. I think that's all I got for you, man. I think that's all we got this week. We covered a lot of stuff. Told you it was a big show. We covered TakeOver and SummerSlam and talked about some other recent news and stuff like that. Sasha Banks is back, of course. Sasha returning this week. Someone asked me earlier what I thought about it. And I said, thank God the crazy Instagram posts have hopefully slowed down now. Because every day she was almost posting pictures of cats hanging in trees, folks. You know what I mean? Hang in there. You know what I mean? Yikes. Too much. So yeah, that was kind of the news for the week. We didn't touch on everything, but I think we hit the highlights. Go out and watch some wrestling, man. A week from tomorrow, we're going to go see Evolve in Greensboro. I think it is. Greensboro? Gastonia. Should be a good show. Got front row seats to that. Brian Pillman Jr. is in the main event, so that's going to be good. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to that, man. Yeah, Raymond, you sure did. Thank you, Rebecca. I appreciate it. I want to thank everybody out there for watching. There is a possibility that we will not be here next Friday. I've got some family stuff happening next Friday. It's possible we won't be here. If that happens, I will put the message out and I'll post it on Wrestling Rumors to let everyone know. Because you know what the next show is, folks? Number 150. 150, a milestone for Tom Clark's main event. Right here it hits me. Thank you so much for watching and being part of this ride. This journey's been awesome. It's going to continue. And I love each and every one of you for hanging out and for watching and stuff. Please tell all your friends and everyone you know that watches pro wrestling. Please tell them about the show. We appreciate it. Please subscribe on iTunes, Google Play. Leave us a review. Thank you so much for watching. If we're not friends on the Facebook, send me a request. And thank you, Joe. And we'll be back and we'll talk some more about wrestling stuff. We'll be friends and do all that great stuff and hang out and whatnot. I appreciate your business. Thanks, Jim. Thanks everyone for watching. Montrese, Orlando, thank you much. Rebecca, everyone out there. Thanks for hanging out and, for making this a fun thing to do. It's been fun, man. I appreciate it. And we're out of here. We will see you next time on Tom Clark's Main Event.